At the behest of Prime Minister Winston Churchill, designing work for Calder Hall Power Station was started by Christopher Hinton in 1952. The industrial group of the Atomic Energy Authority established the design team for this particular project, and construction of Britain's first nuclear power station started in March 1953 at Sellafield in Cumberland.
Calder Hall in Cumberland, opened by Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth in October 1956, was the first full-scale atomic power station in the world.
It is with pride that I now open Calder Hall, Britain's first atomic power station.
Nuclear power was first transmitted to the UK's national grid in August 1956. In its early life, Calder Hall primarily produced weapons-grade plutonium with 2 fuel loads per year. Electricity production was a secondary purpose. From 1964, it was mainly used on commercial fuel cycles. In April 1955, the UK government announced that all production of plutonium for weapons purposes had ceased. The Calder Hall design was codenamed PIPA, Pressurized Pile Producing Power and Plutonium, by the UK AEA, to denote the plant's dual commercial and military role. Calder Hall had 4 Magnox reactors, capable of generating 16 megawatts of power, though this maximum was reduced to 50 megawatts in 1973. At its peak of operation, Calder Hall generated 196 megawatts of electricity, as much as 4 times its power generation when it was first opened. According to the British Nuclear Group, Calder Hall generated enough power to run a 3-bar radiator for 2.85 million years in its 47 years of operation. The 4 cooling towers, built between 1950 and 1956 to cool the water from the station, were 88 metres in height and used the natural draft hyperboloid design. The towers stood for 50 years, creating a landmark visible from the village of Seascale. After producing electricity for nearly half a century, the power station ceased operations in March 2003. After a period of public consultation, the UK Health and Safety Executive, HSE, granted decommissioning consent for Calder Hall in June 2005. Conflict arose over renovating Calder Hall and preserving the towers, but costs effectively defeated all attempts to do so. The 4 cooling towers were demolished by controlled implosions on Saturday, 27th of September 2007, by Controlled Demolition Inc. Currently, the fuel rods that provided the energy for the plant are being removed from the reactor and transferred to Sellafield's site for reprocessing. Once all the fuel has been removed, the reactors and associated infrastructure will progressively be decommissioned to enable the Calder Hall site to enter a care and maintenance phase, when the reactor buildings are placed in a passive state and are monitored and maintained until the site is later completely cleared. The decommissioning of the Calder Hall plant is due to be completed by 2117.